Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the March 20th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for the town of Austining. My name is Sal Carrera, Chairman, and joining me this evening are members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, Town Attorney, Building Inspector, Secretary. We have two hearings this evening. I will read the public notice and then request the applicant and/or their representative to give a brief explanation of the relief sought. Anyone that has a comment should raise their hand and state their name and address. After the comments are received, the board will try to render a decision this evening. I also want to welcome John Turnquist, our new building inspector. I'd like to have each one of the board members introduce themselves for the record.
David O'Neill, member.
Tom Rose, member.
Lynn Farrell, member.
Christy Adana, attorney.
John Turnquist, building inspector.
Sandy Anelli, secretary.
Thank you. First, this evening, we're going to have, the first hearing is going to be public notice. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing of the Town of Austining Zoning Board of Appeals will be held on Monday, March 20th, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. on the application of Juan Orozco, 21 Hillcrest Avenue, Austining, New York, in person at the John Paul Rodriguez Operations Center, 101 Route 9A, Austining, New York, 10562, and by Zoom using the following link. The property is located at 21 Hillcrest Avenue in the unincorporated area of the town of Austining, identified on the tax map of the town of Austining as section 80.14, block 2, lot 41, in the R5 one-family residential zoning district. The applicant is seeking an area variance for the terms of the zoning code of the town of Austining, chapter 200-15 R5 one-family resident districts, and both regulations, table 200, amendment 2, to construct a second-story addition to the home. Application materials and plans prepared by David Guerrero, IT, of SDN Design, received February 6, 2023, are available for public inspection at the Town of Austining Building Department and available online. All interested persons are invited to attend the public hearing, be heard on this matter. Public can send written comments by email to the Building Department of the Town of Austining or regular mail to the Town of Austining Zoning Board of Appeals, Post Office Box 1166, Austining, New York, 10562. Please feel free to contact our office by phone. If you need any additional information regarding the zoning board meetings, the process, please call 914-762-8419. We are also having this by Zoom, so we will take public comment via Zoom and or in person this evening. By order of the Zoning Board of Appeals, Sal Carrera, Chairman, dated March 10th, 2023. Someone here representing.
Do I just stand right here?
Please. Yeah.
Come forward.
All right. How's it going, everyone? My name is David Guerrero. I'm a civil engineer, and I'm representing Mr. Isaka in regards to his home located at
Good evening.
21 Hillcrest Ave. So we are proposing to put a second floor onto his existing one-story home. Reason being is because it's a one bedroom and it's a four person home, and they would like to add a second floor and move the existing one bedroom to the second floor and add a second bedroom as well onto the second floor.
How long has your client been living in the building?
I wanted to have approximately around like 15 years. Yeah.
And basically, you're going to be staying within the current guidelines of how the house is currently built?
Exactly. Yeah, we're staying within the same exact footprint of the existing home. We're just adding to that floor to it.
And the first floor and second floor, the second floor is going to be new, so
Yes.
there's going to be, from what I'm noticing on the plans, there's going to be some renovations to the first floor also.
Yes, that area is going to be converted into a living room dining area because as it is right now, even though there is that one bedroom where it says living room, it's technically being used as a bedroom since they only have a one bedroom home and they have two kids. So yeah, that whole entire first floor will be dining room, living room area, and then the second floor will be the bedrooms.
Okay, members of the board, questions?
Well, can you just address the one concern I have
Yeah.
about that area?
Mhm.
Is the density is, you know, I didn't look at the details of the construction, but like fire, I'm really concerned about the fire in that area because of the density.
Of the density, yeah, well, based on code, I've spoken
You'll
to.
follow,
Sorry.
you'll follow the code.
Yeah, I've spoken to
Yeah.
Mr. Jenquist about that. He said, we're within that, setback of the fire code. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's,
But you're also, I mean, the house is already too big for the lot, is it not? I mean, from the way I read the plans, and I could be wrong,
Mhm.
you don't come anywhere near to the frontage or the side yard.
Mhm.
And now you don't want to put a whole another floor on the house.
Mhm.
I don't see any hardship in the application that would allow us even to grant you a variance.
well, we are staying within the current footprint and we're not intruding into any setbacks that are.
I understand that, but the house is already non-conforming,
Mhm.
and now you're making it even more non-conforming.
Yeah, that's,
It's a bungalow community, that's what it was, and it was a bungalow community for years.
Mhm.
And if you look at the other houses in the area, they're pretty much kept to the same size. And I don't see any hardship demonstrated by this application.
Well, I don't want to take any sides here, but, and I'm just one vote. I think the hardship here is that a family of four is living in a couple of 100 feet of a dwelling. And even in multifamily homes that are not even built any longer, but there are rules, regulations, and restrictions in the village of Ossining, in the town of Ossining, and every municipality within Westchester County of how many people can live in a studio, 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom. So the hardship here, as far as I'm concerned, is that you have a family of four living in a couple of 100 feet of space, and building a second floor will definitely give them some breathing room. Okay, that you're going up and not going back sideways or in the front. That's the way I'm looking at it.
We could also put a condition on any approval if the board was inclined to grant it. Making sure that it remains a single family home. So that if that was something that would be acceptable to the board, so that, you know, I understand the concern about density. So that it couldn't then be converted into a 2-family or apartments or something like
But if you look at the neighborhood, there's ways that they could facilitate the children sleeping in a separate area of the house. They have sleeping lofts now, they could make in that ceiling area. They don't need a whole nother floor from the house, they're just gonna change it from all the other houses in the area. I mean, they bought in a bungalow community. And according to Redfin and some of the other things, that house has really appreciated a lot since 2017 when he bought it. So, I mean, I don't really see the extreme hardship here. But that's just my opinion.
that. Hardship is one of the criteria for an area variance. It's a balancing test, so every board member is entitled to their opinion. Absolutely.
So I have some comments and concerns.
Yep.
That the allowable square footage is roughly 750 or 750 square feet.
Mhm.
The existing house is 510 square feet, so the proposal is effectively doubling it and making so it's 270 square feet over what's allowed, which is not cited as one of the items looking for variance. I think it references yards, not necessarily the areas for the variance. But that's roughly a third
You're referring
larger.
to FAR?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's roughly 270 square feet larger than what would be allowed, which is approximately a third larger than what would be allowed. And one thing I did notice in going to the site is that there are a number of houses that do have a full second floor or an occupiable second floor, and there's probably once been an attic, but typically the portion that's closest to the street is only 1 story. And the larger house starts further back. There are some houses adjacent or 1 or 2 down where I think they start roughly 8 feet back, which is essentially, back from this front portion here, so. I mean, I would be comfortable with a more modest addition above, that's not necessarily doubling the footprint of the house and allows the house to be pulled back a little bit further from the street on the second floor.
Is that achievable?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to maximize the space just because it is a small living area, but if that's something that the board deems that it's necessary to reduce that second floor, it is a possibility for sure.
Because it would reduce
It would just reduce the bedroom size
it would reduce the square footage
Yeah.
by roughly 150 square feet,
approximately.
which would put it much closer to the 750 square feet that's allowed by zoning, just distributed onto 2 floors.
Is that something you want to discuss with your client?
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing I'll just state for the record, and you may have heard us talking about it earlier, we don't have a full complement of the board this evening.
Okay.
There are 4 members, so you would need 3 to vote on your application, but given that, I think the board would accommodate an interim request if you wanted to go back and look at the plan.
Okay. Yeah. we should talk about it.
Before you
Yeah.
do that, is there anybody else in the audience present that has anything to say with regards to this application? Okay, is anybody on Zoom that has anything to say about this application?
I was just curious, can you hear me?
Have your name and address?
Sure, Bella Gomes, 12 Stonegate Road. I was curious, the letter we received lists the property located at 28 Ganong Drive and not 21 Hill.
That's not up yet. The first application is Hillcrest.
Got it. Okay, just wanted, that's what I was interested in. Okay, thank you.
Be next.
Don't go away.
I won't.
Anyone else on Zoom in the audience that has anything to say with regards to this application? Okay. Off the record for 5 minutes.
Pause.
But we could talk among ourselves, right, about what just, I think.
Well, we're gonna be talking, if we're gonna be talking, we should be talking on.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah, what you should do for all the new board members, you get them, a book or, criteria for area variance, criteria for use variance, so that they have it.
I can send that back to you. I mean, I know I circulated it a while.
I think I have it.
Yeah.
And he's got printed nice and big.
Yeah.
So that's been doing this for 35 years, I deserve a little extra.
Landing company.
Honestly, he would.
Sorry, can you just
Sorry.
wait one
We'll
second?
get back on the record. Go
Did you have
ahead.
did you pause it or no?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All set, okay, yeah, so I just spoken to him. So honestly, not doing that addition on that, on that front part, it would reduce that bedroom greatly, and that's something that he would like. He would like to add on to that part. More so just because of space, because by reducing that, it does greatly reduce those bedrooms upstairs. Yeah.
So you want to move forward with the application?
Just with that application, how it is, yes.
I need to continue discussing.
Well, I think this is a crucial part of what I was trying to say at the beginning is that this is a very dense area up there. I know I walk it a lot. And, I think your observations about the square footage catches up with my concern. Particularly the 750, which was not even really presented, I think that clear, at least to me, so. I'd like to help these people have a home that's for their family, but also the responsibility to your neighbors and the laws. I understand it. I'm very hesitant.
Just getting a feel for what the members of the board are leaning to without me taking an official vote.
Yeah.
My recommendation, and do as you please.
Yeah.
Is that I would postpone this application this evening.
Yeah.
And discuss this further with regards to your client of what can and cannot be done to satisfy the needs of at least 3 of the 4 board members that are here. There are 2 board members that are not here. So we don't have, a full quorum, and I have no idea what their take would be on this
Yeah.
currently. That could be changed in another month if both of them show up.
Yeah.
And or you come back with another plan.
Mhm.
And or just remove this from, our agenda and take no vote on it and just live the way it is.
Okay. I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, as it is right now, it's really not livable, so that's why I bring that, yeah. He wants to go through this process. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, I completely understand though, what you guys are saying. I know you guys are trying to abide within the laws and everything like that. And like, I've been there in that area before. Like, I've seen houses that have the 2nd floor, but it's not like it's an area that's just all little bungalow houses. That is not the case there. I'm sure in other places it is, but there it's not. And just how it's just not livable. So that's that, yeah.
I mean, what I would do.
Yeah.
If I was in your shoes and in your client's shoes,
Yeah.
is that you should have a meeting and give them some alternatives of how the 2nd floor can work for them,
Mhm.
just in a different approach of the architectural rendering.
Mhm.
And if they like it, then come back and satisfy some of these questions that have arisen.
Yeah.
With regards to the, VAR, and just go from there. Otherwise, you could just notify, the building department and just withdraw the application.
Okay.
And some of the comments that came up tonight from the board members are related to the statutory criteria for an area variance that
Mhm.
does have to be addressed.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned that there are other houses in that area that are similar to what you're proposing.
Yeah.
If you could present that to the board,
Mhm.
if you want to reach out to Sandy, we can get you what those criteria are, but I think that would be helpful for the board in making their decision if you could provide your analysis. But I think what you're hearing from the board tonight is that reducing the
Square footage.
square footage is necessary.
That's it. Okay.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is close the public hearing.
I would just
Portion?
adjourn the public hearing. to
Adjourn the
next
public hearing
meeting
for now,
because
okay.
if the applicant's gonna submit.
I second it.
Okay. So we're gonna adjourn and we'll wait to hear from you, in the future,
Sounds good.
okay?
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you for coming in.
Yeah, my pleasure. Numbers. Yeah, I understand it. It's really, many things that really. I mean, I looked at them last meeting.
Okay, then second, public notice. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing, town of Ossining, zoning board of appeals will be held on Monday, March 2023 at 7:30 p.m. on the application of Andrew and Aiden Venuto, 28 Denham Drive, Ossining, New York, in person at the John Paul Research Operations Center, 101, Lot 9A, Austin, New York, 10562, and by Zoom using the following link, which is online. The property is located at 28 Denong Drive in the unincorporated area of the town of Austining, identified on the tax map, town of Austining at section 90.14, block 2, lot 51, in the R15 one-family residential zoning district. The applicant is seeking an area variance for the terms of the zoning code of the town of Austining, chapter 200-11 R15 one-family resident district, and bulk regulations table 200, attachment 2, construct an addition at the rear of the home. Application materials and plans prepared by Jamal and Associates, 317 Glenwood Avenue, Hawthorne, New York, dated January 23rd, 2023, are available for public inspection at the Town of Austining Building Department and are available online. All interested persons are invited to attend the public hearing to be heard on this matter. The public can send written comment by email to the building department, townofaustining.com, or regular mail to the Town of Austining Zoning Board of Appeals, Post Office Box 1166, Austining, New York, 10562. Please feel free to contact our office by phone if you need any information regarding the zoning board meeting process. By order, the zoning board of appeals, Sal Carrera Chairman, dated March 10th, 2023. I assume you are the applicant?
Yes, Adrian Venuto, 28 Glenwood Drive, and we are proposing closing in existing deck or porch in the backyard to make a family room.
Okay. Architect?
I'll say I'm very familiar with the house because I live across the street.
Then you can't vote.
And I can see the potential addition from my front yard, but I think these are all, houses that we built like in 55, 56, and this neighborhood has a history of modest additions on the rear of these houses. So I don't really take any issue with it. It's essentially following the roof line of the existing house and a covered area that's on the back of the house. So it's really kind of enclosing that area. So we've not taken exception to what's being proposed. One minor comment on the drawings, I think for the rear yard, it says, or the side yard proposed, it says 24 inches instead of 24 feet. But beyond.
Yeah, I was a little worried when I saw that.
But beyond that, I don't have any issue with the proposal.
Tom?
The only comment I would be interested in is from the neighbor, that is going towards that one neighbor. That's the only thing and again, but we're really not about us deciding what your neighbor says. We still have to go by law, but, and this is going to be a permanent structure. It will live beyond you and us, so, that's the only real concern.
Which direction are you saying?
No, wait, the way the addition is, there's that porch presently that you have.
Yep.
And you went out a little bit more, and then to the left a little bit more towards the.
Yeah,
Right.
Feet to the left.
As I understand it, you're right, and so I'm just saying that.
No, I visited the site and I looked at it and I agree with David. It's basically, it's gonna be a classic enclosure of the site, and I fully understand what you're trying to do.
And I have 4 boys, so I probably should have added that.
But, yeah. Anything?
No, I have nothing. I mean, it doesn't mention any hardship, but in light of the fact that it's just a structure that's already existing, it's gonna have a roof and walls
Right.
put on it. I don't have a problem with it. Doesn't seem to increase the density at all.
We do not have any other individuals within our space here. So we'll go to Zoom public. Any questions with regards to this application?
This is the application for 28 Benung.
Yep, no, I was just interested in listening because I'm one of his neighbors, so I was curious.
Oh, okay. Does anybody else have any comments that's on Zoom? Any neighbors?
Did she answer the neighbor? Okay, then I'd like to close the public hearing. I'd like to take a vote for closing the public hearing.
I'll second it.
All in favor of granting the variance as it's shown right now? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No. So it's unanimous because it is board. Would you consider this an area variance?
Yes.
Okay, so the criteria for an area variance that we're basically voted on is whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to the nearby properties will be created by granting of the area variance. Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. Whether the requested area variance is substantial. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. And whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, this factor is relevant to the decision. But the fact that the difficulty was self-created does not preclude granting of the area variance. We all have agreed that we are 100% in favor of granting the variance.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Okay, this evening's zoning board meeting on March 20th is completed, and thank you for everyone's attendance. Look forward to not seeing you for a long time, but that's up to our building inspector. Thank you. Okay.